In the bustling heart of Nova Bay, a tech hub shimmering with aspirations and ambitions, billionaire Orion Larkson stepped into a quaint coffee shop nestled away from the dazzling life around him. After a torrential wave of meetings and presentations at a leading tech summit, he sought solace amidst steaming cups and whispered conversations, a brief escape from the relentless clamor of innovation and competition. As he settled into a lonely corner of the café, he never anticipated the haunting specter of his past to surface in such an intimate environment. Wiping down tables with care and precision was an elderly woman named Isabella Rivera. At 85, her silver curls glimmered under the café lights, yet her weathered hands bore the markings of a life lived in service. Orion watched her, a tumult of thoughts and memories crashing over him. This woman had once cradled his dreams in her gentle hands, tending to scraped knees, spinning tales of heroism and hope, urging him to chase the night sky and the stars. Isabella looked up from her task, and in that fragmented moment, Orion felt a surge of recognition. Time had altered her appearance, but the essence of the woman remained intact. "It cannot be," he whispered under his breath. Yet there she stood, as clear as a summer's day. A nostalgic name slipped from his lips. Isabella. The cleaning cloth slipped from her grip, a startled look crossing her face as she turned to view the towering man before her. "Do I know you, sir?" Her voice was a soft whisper of confusion, but within her brown eyes lay a spark of familiarity. "It's me, Orion Larkson," he managed to respond, stepping closer. Each step was charged with a flood of sentiment, a deluge of emotions racing back to a simpler time when life was unburdened by the weight of wealth. "From my childhood in Greenvale." Her shock was palpable, her arms reaching out almost instinctively, a gesture reminiscent of days long forgotten. "Orion," she breathed, a name only she had used to soothe his fears. "My sweet Orion." She cradled his arm briefly, her hands trembling with age and surprise. Memories flooded through him. The nights spent in her company, adventures spun from imagination, and the quiet safety she provided when the world around was chaotic. Yet the reunion brought a shadow of reality crashing down on him. Here was the woman who had nurtured him through storms and sleepless nights, enduring the trials of life alone in the shadows, while he ascended to heights that felt unjust in the face of her struggle. "What are you doing here, Isabella?" he asked softly, a line of worry creasing his brow. "You should be resting, not cleaning tables at this age." Her sigh resounded through the café, heavy with the burdens she carried. "Life pulls us in different directions, dear. I work to pay the bills. It's not easy at my age." A sudden call from the kitchen to Isabella reoriented the moment, a reminder that life continued around them. "I must go," she said reluctantly. "But I finish my shift at 8. Maybe we can talk?" Orion nodded, feeling a resolve bloom within him, the realization that he owed her far more than mere gratitude. As he turned to leave, the disparity struck him anew. While he reveled in billionaire status, Isabella was ensnared in daily survival mode. That notion clenched at his heart, fueling an old fire of determination that he had long since buried beneath business ventures and technological advancements. Over the course of that evening, the bustle of the city around him faded away as he plotted. He had to understand her plight fully. Before the night stretched into early dawn, he pulled out his phone, ready to initiate plans to discover her world, where she lived, her responsibilities, everything he could to secure her comfort and dignity. Before long, Isabella finished her shift, her body stooping under the weight of remnants from the day, a tiring sequence of movements forged in routine. "Let's get you some food," Orion suggested, leading her to a nearby diner that echoed with laughter and conversations. A simple meal shared between two lives fractured by time and circumstance, united under the shared warmth of human connection. They talked of good memories and the passing years. Isabella spoke of the hardships after she'd moved to the city, of working hard to care for her ailing sister, of enduring job rejections, all while Orion recounted tales of technological revolutions and experiences of parenthood. The connection re-sparked, yet the specter of discontent still loomed. Isabella's quiet dignity challenged by her ongoing struggle to stay afloat. Days rolled into weeks, but each encounter they shared deepened their bond, unveiling layers of feelings long buried in both. Orion could see the toll that time had taken on her, and with that realization igniting a fire in his heart, he set his sights on a more profound mission. He would not just change her circumstances, but also redirect the very foundations of her existence. Back in his lavish penthouse suite, shadows danced upon the wall, and as Orion pondered over his burgeoning concept, one flickering contradiction settled heavily on his mind. The true purpose of one's life transcends ambition and wealth, echoing through time in the value placed on nurturing connections with those we hold dear. One evening, gazing at the stars from his balcony, he reached a decision deeper than mere charity. "I need to show her the reverence she deserves," he whispered into the wind, envisioning a sanctuary of warmth and knowledge where those like Isabella could thrive, not as remnants of society, but as its guiding lights. After consulting with experts and gathering every resource at his disposal, Orion initiated plans to create a unique community, a sanctuary where retired caregivers could share the wisdom and love they had once so selflessly distributed throughout their lives. In that spark, he saw the potential to shift narratives, not just for Isabella or for himself, but for many like her. With each component falling into place, the Guardian's Haven emerged as an idea that would encompass everything Isabella had expressed in just the mere hours they spent together. A dream force crafted to yield the best as a place of nurturing and understanding, steeped in love and community. Heftily, he shared the vision with Isabella one crisp autumn day, sitting once again at that little diner. Her initial response flickered through joy before concern shadowed her face. "Orion, this is too much," she cautioned, her eyes pleading for him to recognize the weight of his generosity. "These arrangements, you're not trying to buy my loyalty or affection." "No, dear Isabella," he said gently. "This isn't charity. It's not about gifts or my wealth. It's about cultivating a nurturing space where people like you can teach, guide, and feel valued in return." She remained resistant, her stubborn pride woven intricately with self-worth. Yet something glimmered beneath the surface. Hope. "Let me think on it." She finally relented. In the fire of unyielding aspirations, Isabella slowly began to see the vision sprouting around her, yet Orion remained aware of one vital detail. He needed to peel back further, facing tales from their past that intertwined their futures. Conversations with an investigator led him to uncover the truth behind Isabella's departure from Greenvale, the complications that had shrouded her absence during those formative years. Suddenly, the threads of their lives seemed to weave back into a rich tapestry, revealing a mourning spirit that threatened to unravel them both. As she quietly mulled decisions, Orion seized pathways to rebuild bridges of understanding, delving deeper into the essence of their histories. Long hidden truths began to surface, placing shadows upon the brightness of newfound dreams. With time and connection, Isabella's hesitation began to wane, sparked by the faith both she and Orion had bestowed upon each other, encouraging her to not only see the possibilities of his dream, but to realize that her own life had meaning yet to be uncovered. Months rolled forward, embodying endeavors ignited from compassion as foundations steadily rose, and at the heart of it all was Isabella, who found herself enveloped in a community where she could pour her wisdom and grace. Orion consistently reminded her that this was a two-way journey, a mutual exchange of growth and strength, cultivated from the seeds she once watered in his childhood. In quiet evenings spent together, they unveiled pieces of their histories, integrating tales held tightly woven in their hearts with threads of vulnerability and healing. On the eve of opening day for the Guardian's Haven, surrounded by twinkling lights and laughter, Isabella found herself alongside Orion, witnessing the space they had created together come alive. This wasn't merely a project, it was a monument to resilience, wisdom, and the power of connection to shift the very fabric of a community. "Orion, it's magnificent," she gasped, her heart swelling with pride for what they had crafted. He smiled, taking her hand. "It's a reflection of you. Every lesson you taught has shaped this planet, a community where the underestimated can flourish and where living doesn't come with the shackles of marginalization." And in that moment, as Isabella looked around at the vibrant faces that mirrored her own joy and resilience, she felt an unstoppable wave of gratitude crash over her. A life once filled with lonely burdens now burgeoned with a renewed sense of belonging, purpose, and fulfillment. These shared victories trace back through their narratives, two souls intertwined across time and circumstance, reminding Orion that no success is felt more profoundly than when shared with the compassionate hands that once cradled dreams. What neither of them foresaw was how the sparks ignited through this venture would carry into new territories, reshaping the notion of community and care, serving not just the present, but awakening the future, unraveling threads of kindness and connection for generations yet to come. Never did Orion believe the simple act of reconnecting with an old friend would uncover such rich tales, or reveal layers of understanding that would not only fortify their lives, but also ripple outwards, an influence thriving in warmth, compassion, and the beauty of shared humanity. As they celebrated at the Guardian's Haven, laughter and stories mingled in the air, a miracle not defined by singular lives, but rather by the footprints left behind in the hearts and minds of those encouraged to care, nurture, and teach once again, inviting others to embrace their own paths, or as Isabella reminded him often, to find the light shining beneath the dreams they dared to chase.